What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Rangers Central. And I didn't expect to really talk about this today at all, as we're about to do a podcast actually in less than an hour. Be sure to be on the lookout for that. But Kevin Weeks just dropped news that the New York Rangers have signed Jonathan Quick to a 1-year extension. And I'm going to just assume that it's like $800K at most, and it's really not going to be that much. So there's really no point in me even waiting for the AAV to come out because it's not going to be a lot at all. At most, I'd imagine it's 1 million, and even that I think is a stretch. There was reports before, I forgot who really got into the reports of that stuff, that Jonathan Quick did potentially want to play one more year with the Rangers and sign an extension there. So to me, this doesn't come as a surprise really that he did extend, more so a surprise as to just when it happened. This is just completely out of left field, honestly, that it did. But I'm very happy that it did because this gives Garand another year to really fully develop. And, if Quick does look cooked a bit next year and shows more signs of that next season, then Dylan Garand is probably more than ready enough to come up and play in the NHL. He hasn't had the best year in Hartford, at least to start off. He's gotten better lately, but still, I really love this idea because of the fact that he's been a very good backup for the Rangers this year, because of the fact that if he wants to be here, he wants to be here. This is better than what they've been doing with the backup position most of the time, where, they gave Jarl Halak a good amount of money to come in and be the backup, gave him a no-move clause too, which is just ridiculous. Paying a lot on Georgiev at one point to be the backup. You guys get the point, though. Before I jump further into everything, leave a like, though, if you do enjoy this. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live. But I'm happy, too, for Jonathan Quick as well. Obviously, he's won enough in this league to the point where it's like, why are you happy for the guy? Well, I'm happy for the guy because he's playing for his hometown team, and he's been a very good goalie for the Rangers thus far and stole them a lot of games earlier in the year and picked up a lot of the workload when Igor Shesterkin couldn't. He's played 21 games this year, has a 2.45 goals against and a 916. If you told me going into the year that I'd be talking about Jonathan Quick having those numbers by the end of the season, because I figured he was going to get, 20 to 25 starts for the Rangers this year, and Igor was going to have to carry a lot of the workload, I would be to the moon about those stats. But the fact that he might play more games for the Rangers this year and carry more of a workload, giving Igor further rest going into the playoffs, that's huge for this team. And the fact that he's putting up a 916, and I owe him a major apology myself too, because I really doubted him going into the year. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to, lie and pretend that I was a fan from day one, because if you looked at the past 4 seasons of his career, 904 save percentage, 898 save percentage, 910, not terrible. 876, which is just brutal. Went to Vegas in 10 games, had a 901, but you don't really take much stock into a 10-game sample size, right? And then now this year, he's just had a resurgence. I think a lot of that's credit to Benoit Lair as well, who we know is the Rangers goalie coach and is one of the best goalie coaches, if not the best in the National Hockey League at what he does. And you hear players always speak highly of him. You can give a lot of credit to him on this one, because Jonathan Quick has not had an elite level season since 2017, 2018. And here he is in the big 2024, putting up a 916. I'm not saying that's an elite save percentage, but for a backup goalie, I mean, that's very, very ideal and very good, considering Igor Shesterkin's save percentage is lower than his. And if you told me that going into the year too, I would have called you crazy if we were at game 61 and you told me that Igor has a lower save percentage than Quick. Granted, Igor is getting that save percentage up, which is very good to see. But yeah, if there's one thing you could count on with the Rangers, it is consistent goaltending play, which at times it lacked this year, but it definitely has been there the majority of the year, and a lot of that is because of Quick. I'd imagine, too, there's some signing bonuses in there since he could get another 35-plus contract, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure if there's a rule in the CBA where you could only do that sort of thing once. You guys could let me know in the comments. I'm looking at you, Statboy Steven. I know you're watching. Tell me the CBA rules on that one. But regardless, yeah, if he does get the signing bonuses too, maybe they got him even cheaper and right dead on league minimum for next season. And all of a sudden that gives them extra cap room to work with, because I was under the impression that they were just going to call up Garand after this year. That was always my thought is, all right, they're trying to bridge to Garand. So they got Halak. Halak wanted too much money. Then they get Jonathan Quick. All right, this is finally the bridge to Dylan Garand. Let's not forget, though, Garand is only 21, so it's not like he's, getting older to the point where it's looking like he's becoming a bust of a prospect. There's still plenty of time for Garand to succeed. I would say next year, though, you really want to start seeing him take a bigger step forward when it comes to his play in Hartford, because he's kind of been an up and down goalie in Hartford. Like last year, too, he got off to a slow start, picked it up, and had a monstrous playoff run for the Hartford Wolfpack, and really stepped up his game. Him and Louis Domingue looked good down the stretch there for Hartford. But you want to see Dylan Garand like really put together a consistent season in Hartford where he, puts up like a 920 plus save percentage to really show that he could be an NHL goalie. And for right now, we just haven't seen that. So they're continuing to just bridge their way to this sort of thing. And now that you're able to buy another year of Garand's development, huge news, especially because you didn't know the certainty of Louis Domingue too coming back, which I'd imagine he's not going to come back because he probably wants a backup role at this point, considering the fact that he's probably tired of the whole third string thing, and he's played well in Hartford, had a very good game, obviously, this year for the Rangers against the Wild, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that, but all I know is that they at least have two very good goalies going into next season with Igor Shesterkin as well as Jonathan Quick now, and those after next year, though, done with the contracts for both goalies. And that's when things get very interesting. What is it going to look like? And then Dylan Garand, too. He's an RFA after that year. A lot of uncertainty, not after this season, but next season, comes with the goaltender position between what they're going to do with the backup, what they're going to do with Igor Shesterkin even. Who knows? This summer, he is eligible for an extension. Will they do it? I don't know. All I know is that he's helping that price go back up when it looked like it might be going down after a bit here. So going to be interested to see what they do there. I'm going to check Twitter one more time too to see if there is any news on the contract money. No, we have nothing so far on the AAV of this deal. So yeah, again, very happy that Quick got this contract, and very happy that he's going to be the backup for this upcoming season. Like I said, I'm about to go live doing a podcast episode with the boys here, so be sure to be on the lookout for that. That's going to start at 12:30 here. This video will probably go up around 12, so be on the lookout. Turn on your notifications so you know when it does happen. Be sure to leave a like, too, if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't, too, especially if you're Ranger fans. And let me know in the comments. I want to hear from you guys what you think of the extension. I don't see a reason anyone should be upset about this. I think everyone should be to the moon about this, unless, obviously, Jonathan Quick looks cooked next season, which even then, can you be mad? Because all they have to do is just put him on waivers and then call Garand up. I don't see any of this as a negative at all. But again, I want to hear your thoughts if you do think it's a bad idea. Very curious. But I'll see you guys in the next one.